I thought what I do is I'd use an isometric to kind of like potentiate myself for the main lift of the day. So I have a barbell wall set here for like 3 sets of 30 seconds, followed by a squat.
First thing is in the barbell wall set, right? You said build up to RP 8, I believe in 3 sets of 30 or 45 seconds, is it?
No, 30 seconds and then 45 seconds rest.
45 seconds rest. Okay, so that's the rest period in the bracket. Great. So it's a 1:1 work rest ratio. And you said you're doing 3 sets of this, and the idea is to build up the weight to RP8.
Yeah.
All right, great. Okay, so for 30 seconds, you're looking to lift a certain amount of weight, rest for 45 seconds, lift a heavier weight, rest for 45 seconds. And in the third set, you want to lift an amount of weight that feels like an effort level of 8.
Yeah.
Great, perfect. And that you're going to follow up with a
Barbell squat. Hmm.
the potentiation effect. If you are trying to use something as a potentiation for the next exercise, the
Hmm.
difference between those two exercises cannot be more than 20 seconds, because the potentiation effect is a neural effect. It's a neural adaptation, right? And neural adaptations have a very short half-life. Whenever you're trying to use or leverage a neural adaptation, we need to make sure that we also abide the time constraint that we have, which is in this case, in case of the potentiators, it's usually 20 seconds. So if
Okay.
I am trying to potentiate my squats, if I'm doing 3 sets of 10 reps in RP 6 to 8,
Hmm.
I don't really need any sort of potentiation work, because try to understand this. When do we need a potentiator? We need a potentiator when we know that, let's say, I'm going to give you two examples. Let's say my broad jump is 10 feet,
Hmm.
right? I know that. I have established that my broad jump is 10 feet. But today, my coach has assigned that I am supposed to set a new PR in my broad jumps.
Hmm.
So I want to see if I can go 10.1 feet or 10.2 feet and get a marginal difference. So what
Hmm.
I will do is, instead of just simply doing my broad jumps, because I just checked that my broad jumps are 10 feet last week. So maybe there are not enough time and not enough physiological adaptations have happened that my broad jump will increase substantially. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use a potentiator exercise. So I'll potentiate my broad jumps with some sort of an isometric first, but that
Hmm.
isometric also has to be at the level that the neurology actually gives a fuck and gets potentiated. So
Hmm.
the potentiation work is supposed to be extremely highly stimulating. Whether
Hmm.
it's an overcoming isometric, whether it's an yielding isometric, the potentiator has to actually be so potentiating that your brain actually changes for a couple of seconds. Your brain mind muscle connection actually changes for a couple of seconds. And then I use that, I wait for 20 seconds, and then I immediately do my broad jump attempts. And then I keep doing those until I have the gas for those broad jump attempts, or whatever, whatever the rep range or whatever the volume of work that's been assigned to me is for that particular day. So that is the context of using potentiation exercises.
Hmm. Okay.
In
Makes
this
sense.
case, will the barbell squats, will you feel warmed up when you get to the barbell squats? Definitely you will. If you do a barbell wall set for at RP8 for 3 sets, yes, you will get warmed up for the barbell squats. But are you potentiating the barbell squats? Number one, you don't need to potentiate the barbell squats in this case. And number two, no, you will not feel the potentiation effect because the 20-second time difference has not been
Hmm.
adhered to over here. So
Okay.
what I
Okay.
would look at in this case is that how I would look at these two exercises is just simply as two exercises. This is exercise number one, this is exercise number two, and this is not a potentiator superset.
Okay.
That's
Makes sense.